The Toyota Land Cruiser hasn't been unveiled yet, at least the redesign we're talking about, the J300, the 2022, but we gotta be close because so many leaks are happening. We have so many blueprints to get through today. Grab your snacks and drinks, happy Easter, and let's get into it. All right, so these leaks and blueprints, they've been coming from a lot of different places, but apparently some governments in Europe and maybe even the Russians have been leaking these blueprints. Don't ask me why or how, but we gotta be really close to the official unveil if these leaks are coming. So what we're looking at here is a comparison of the 2021 model or the 2007 model or whatever, you know, the J200's been around forever, 14 years or whatnot, but here we are, here's a 2022. So it's not gonna look that much different, which why fix something that's not broken? So let's just start with the front end. The hood is going to be a lot more designed, a lot more LX570 is what it looks like to me compared to the outgoing one. But the grille, the headlights, you're not going to be able to tell that much of a difference. The wheel wells are going to have some what looks like to be plastic cladding around, like a lot of the SUVs nowadays, instead of the metal surrounds, which in theory that should help it be a little bit more durable, a little bit more rugged and off-roading. We'll get to wheel options, guys. We even have wheel options today. It's quite ridiculous. Wheelbase, it's hard to tell from this image, but the wheelbase is, I don't know, about 2 inches. I think it's about 5 centimeters, so about 2 inches longer. So we're gonna have a longer wheelbase, but the vehicle's shorter overall, not by a whole lot, but the dimensions are very, very similar. If you look at the side mirror, they position the side mirror on the door now, which really helps with visibility. Now the rear window, if you look at the rear window, from the more rectangular window, we have a much more shaped rear window here. Yeah, it's just a styling difference. I don't think visibility or blind spots are going to be affected that much or anything like that. Spoiler design is a little bit different, and then you have a more pronounced wraparound taillight compared to the more rear-facing taillights. Let's keep moving. So many to get through. So this was shared to me. This is, I believe, from the Saudi Arabian area. But what we have is Arabic, I believe, and one of my followers, he converted these readings here. So this is for the twin turbo V6 V35A FTS, 10.1 kilometers per liter, which is roughly 23 to 24 miles per gallon for the twin turbo V6. And we'll get to the next one here. This is 9.4 kilometers per liter, which is about 22 miles per gallon on the 4-liter V6 naturally aspirated, the 1GR FE. So going back, there's a bunch of switches and things on this, but this pretty much confirms the interior, what we saw, oh, what was it, about a month ago. But what is also crazy, let's see if we can zoom in here. Look at this. This doesn't mean it's coming for sure, but they already have put in the patents, trademarks, GR. We're going to be getting more than likely a GR Land Cruiser. Could it be a twin turbo V8? It's possible. Could it be a hybrid twin turbo V6? That's quite possible. Make sure to stick around because we will be going over the powertrain spreadsheet once we're through the blueprints here. Here's a better look at the drive mode selector. You can start in second gear, which in some cars is called a snow mode or snow start. You have crawl control button and then, you know, drive mode select, etc. Now this is a little above my expertise, but here we have the rear axle and maybe something with the differential going on here, but I'm going to go to the next image. And guys, this to me confirms that the split tailgate is gone, which I really like the split tailgate. I love having the ability to just sit off the back like a pickup truck. And yes, not that many people are going to be using this for tailgating or things like that, but I really love that aspect, and I thought it made the Land Cruiser that much more unique. Well, now we have just a single lift back door, which it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Now here's the rear end that one of my followers kind of put together for us. This is supposed to be pretty close to what it looks like. Yeah, looks like a Land Cruiser to me. Here we have a close-up, a better idea of what the rear taillights are going to look like. These are vortex emulators to help with wind buffeting and aerodynamics. More switches here. This is for the headlight raising and lowering. I actually have that in my Sienna, my 2004 Sienna has this feature. It's pretty cool. Automatic high beams, liftgate button. This is to help the steering in low speed conditions. So I believe what it does is raise up the front end so you can have better approach angles or just steering angles as well. Then you have your camera view, hazards, traction control, all the standard switches and buttons for the most part. Here's a look at the front headlights and the front end of the vehicle. Nothing that gets me too excited here, but if you guys want to pause the video and search for yourself, feel free. Now the wheels, which are pretty exciting, guys. We got 20s right here. Here are your 20-inch wheel options. We have a 17-inch wheel option, which would be best for durability and off-roading. And then you have 3 different 18-inch wheel options. No 19-inch wheel options. You have your hubcaps here of different varieties and different lug bolts, or lug nuts, I should say. Different lug nuts for the vehicle. So yeah, we actually know what the wheels are going to look like, which is pretty darn cool in my opinion. You can see how all the bits of the front end fit together. Not that exciting to me, but you guys might like that. And lastly, here's a confirmation of the 2 engines that we know of. There's also supposed to be a V or some sort of turbo diesel. A 3.3 liter is what we're hearing. We'll go over the powertrains right after this, but on the left is the confirmation of the 1GR FE. For probably South Africa, Middle East, certain markets like that. I don't believe Australia will be getting it. And then here is the engine on the right to replace the 3UR FE, the V35A FTS twin turbo V6. And I think it's time to segue into the powertrains. All right, over at the TNJF powertrains, this is the platform that's going to be shared with the upcoming Prado when that eventually gets redesigned to the upcoming Tundra, which I'll be giving you guys hands-on coverage this year, more than likely, the way things are looking. So that's really exciting. Just a lot of body-on-frame truck-like SUVs, including the future Lexus LX 600 will be on the same platform. And we have a lot of different powertrains that are going to fit in here. There have been talks about an inline 4 diesel, which could be this 3.3 liter twin turbo V6. It could be a single turbo as well. We have also heard talks about how Mazda and Toyota could be working on this engine together. I don't know, but I think what makes most sense to me is this 3.3 liter turbo or twin turbo V6 diesel. It'll have a 10-speed auto more than likely. Some reports are saying 6-speed auto. About 250 horsepower and about 462 pound-feet of torque. Miles per gallon would be somewhere in the mid to low 20s. In the future, more than likely, they're going to be able to hybridize that diesel with up to 288 horsepower and 540 pound-feet of torque. Again, these are just my expectations. And I think there's a good chance of them happening, and that should raise miles per gallon 28 to 30, something like that on a huge Land Cruiser diesel. How cool would that be? Now, these inline 4 options are rumored to be in the upcoming Prado potentially, maybe the upcoming Tacoma, upcoming 4Runner. We'll see. I put them together if you guys want to have a look at them, but we're talking about the Land Cruiser 300 today. Some markets will be getting the 1GR FE here with a 4-liter V6 that we see here in the States in the 4Runner. 10-speed automatic is what I'm expecting. Same 270 horsepower, 278 pound-feet of torque. Miles per gallon, now that we got it from the Saudis or wherever that was in the Middle East, that report today, 22 miles per gallon. But I put an asterisk there, but keep in mind that whatever their fuel economy ratings may change here in the United States as well. So it could be lower here. The EPA is pretty strict with emissions and miles per gallon, more specifically miles per gallon. So more than likely it's going to be 20 miles per gallon to 22 miles per gallon. And then here is the top of the line engine for most markets. The 3.44 liter V35A FTS, around 400 horsepower. It produces 416 horsepower in the LS 500, but I think they might tune it more for torque. We'll see. And I'm expecting 470 pound-feet of torque. In the Lexus, it only produces 442 pound-feet of torque. So it really just depends on how they want to tune this engine. But up to 24 miles per gallon, more than likely maybe 22 to 24 by the time we see it here in the LX 600. Again, Americans are not getting this new Land Cruiser, really sad, which is interesting. If you saw my video yesterday, I talked about how sales are up on the Land Cruiser here in the United States over 200%. And I talked to someone within Toyota yesterday, and he said there's a good chance that they will be producing more Land Cruisers than normal to meet the demand here for the outgoing last few months of the outgoing Land Cruiser here on sale. So that was good to hear. Now in the future, guys, it doesn't end with the Turbo V6, because by 2025, so at the latest of 2025, we'll have a twin turbo V6 hybrid producing really good fuel economy and really good towing capacities, etc. So here we are. We put the 400 horsepower twin turbo V6 with some electrification. Now this is my conservative route, where they add a less potent 50 horsepower electric motor, and that gets us, guys, to 430 or so horsepower and around 547 pound-feet of torque. Miles per gallon, 23 combined. It's actually, we're hearing things of 30 miles per gallon now. So don't know how true that is, but we'll just pencil it in. We don't know how big the hybrid battery, the traction battery, is going to be. It could be anywhere from a 1.5 kilowatt hours to something larger like a 3 kilowatt hour battery. Really just depends on so many different things. They could go a more aggressive hybrid route with this Land Cruiser, Tundra, Sequoia, twin turbo V6 hybrid, and it's possible they could eventually put this in the LC500, the LS500H, to replace the quite unique, I always forget what it's called. I want to say direct shift, but I know it's multi-stage. It's the multi-stage hybrid with 2 motor generators in the drive shaft between the engine. And yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it because it's not potent enough. So here we are, 400 horsepower engine, 100 horsepower electric motors, up to 480 horsepower, could be more, who knows. Aggressively 643 pound-feet of torque. Now, they could also, guys, do a plug-in hybrid, which is going to have probably similar specs to this right here, this more aggressive hybrid. So, and that would give us about 40 miles. Who knows how big of a battery they want to put into it, but like the RAV4 Prime we see, that is about 40 miles of range. They could do the same with the Tundra. They could do the same with the Land Cruiser. Guys, I have no idea how much it would cost at that point. We're talking probably $130 Land Cruiser. And a Lexus, probably about the same for the Lexus LX 750H Plus, whatever they want to call a plug-in hybrid of the Lexus. But don't forget, they mention, or these blueprints say, GR. The GR start button on the Land Cruiser. That means they're planning it. So fingers crossed we get the 4-liter twin turbo V8 that is supposed to be in so many upcoming Lexus products. More than likely the upcoming F line, the rebirth of F. We'll see. Everything's speculation at this point, but how cool would it be to get a twin turbo V8? The V8 is not dead, as Lexus has committed to putting it back into the IS, so super excited. But this would be an all-new V8, a small V8. We haven't seen a 4-liter V8 in a Toyota or Lexus product that I know of since the LS400, since the SC400. So it's been a while, and here we are with the 600 horsepower. Could be more. I'm hearing 650 horsepower from some sources. Who knows? But this is conservative, over 600 pound-feet of torque, guys. And yes, in the future they could even plug-in hybrid that, and who knows how expensive would that be? But we're over 700 horsepower and 700 pound-feet of torque at that point with plug-in range. So guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Are you excited for the Land Cruiser, the Tundra, the LX600? It's been a long time since we've had a redesign, just a big update for any of those vehicles. In the Land Cruiser, after all of these blueprint leaks, the vehicle is just so close to being announced, and now we know more about it. We pretty much know all the basic details. I would say are really close, whether it's powertrains, transmission still not 100% confirmed, but powertrains seem to be, wheel options even, and a GR model in the future, guys. Happy Easter. Hopefully this video made your day a little bit better. These leaks definitely helped my morale. It's been really cool to see all these Land Cruiser tidbits come out right before the final unveil, the final launch. And guys, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and peace out.